Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio. Folks, I got a real treat for you. Johnny Van. What's up, Johnny?
What's doing good? How are you doing?
Dude, if I was any better, I'd be donuts.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
If you get from me.
Yeah, from
I
you.
made that shit up.
From you.
If you guys aren't following him, at Johnny G _Van, right?
That's right.
Johnny G, JOHNNY, G dot, or no, underscore van, like a moving van, which coincidentally, you do own a towing company.
That's right.
Now, you were 24 years old when you started this.
Yeah.
It says you started with 2 trucks.
Yep, and a lot of debt.
Now, how'd you get those 2 trucks? You were living in a basement.
Yeah, so basically, at the time I had bought a little bit of real estate here and there with
How, though?
a friend of mine.
Let's go back. Like
We can go way back.
24-year-old kids usually don't have a lot of dough.
Right. Yeah, and I would say I was middle class. Like we weren't rich by any means, but we were fine. We did good. So my dad always had a couple trucks here and there, but he had a full-time job.
Tow trucks?
Yeah, and he just did it on the side. I helped him all through high school and absolutely hated it because it's a 24/7 business. And, when you're 17, the last thing you want to do is that shit. It's a lot of work. Went to college, got a 4-year degree, went and got, a job as an insurance adjuster.
What's a 4-year degree?
A 4-year degree? It took me 4 years.
I know, but you can get an associate's in 2. What kind of degree did you get?
General business, finance.
Was it a bachelor's?
Bachelor's, yeah. Yeah.
Is that known? Is 4-year degree and bachelor's synonymous? They know that it's one as the other.
I would say so, according to what they tell all the kids.
So if you just said a 2-year degree, I should have thought associates.
Right. Unless you're a genius.
Because I never went to college.
I feel you. That's okay. I didn't need to, but
nobody really does.
The best thing I got out of it was the people I met.
That's what I
Everything
tell
else is
people.
bullshit.
Network, man. That's why you go to college, have fun, build relationships, learn. Yeah. Learning's a bonus. Because what you learn there is generally not even used.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even know if I learned that much either. I learned how to, ace tests, with a guy next to me that did really good. But
well, dude, if those college professors knew so much, why aren't they successful?
Exactly.
And someone says, well, how do you know they're not? Generally, they're not. Could there be some? I'm assuming there could be. But guess what? They're reading from a book that they learned from a professor, that read from a book, that learned from a professor. And it just goes all the way back to the very beginning. Mm-hmm. And again, it's good information. But more importantly, if you go to college, go to get a network, build relationships. Right. That's what pays off.
And you got to be around the right people. I know there was probably one professor in the whole school business that I went to that we looked up to. I would say we both did. And then we found out more about him as we got into the real business world, and he was actually a joke. So I think that it's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Everybody, we know that. We know that's not going to change for a while. I mean, the schools are what they are,
But you had fun.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. And I met some people, and basically a friend of mine, Keaton, that's with me, we started doing business stuff. We had no idea what we wanted to do. We just know we wanted to make money, and we met each other through a group or something. We started with merchant services. We actually pulled that totally out of our ass, and I can't really talk about it a whole lot. But
what does that mean?
You know what merchant services are.
Dude, I started one.
Yeah. We started one about 6-7 years ago.
Real Merchant Services, everybody. If you have businesses, I'm going to give myself a plug.
No, do it.
If you have a business, and it doesn't matter how big or how little, I really did start the absolute world's best payment solutions company there is. It's called Real Merchant Services. And if you go to realmerchantservices.com, you can take a quick 2-second thing. And a lot of times we just eliminate people's fees altogether.
Yeah.
Give them free equipment, eliminate their fees. People are like, how are you doing it? Oh, trust me, we're doing it. So if you're paying Stripe or processing fees, I'll bet you anything you're overpaying. And a lot of people think, well, it's no big deal. It's not a little bit, dude. A little bit adds up over the next 5-10 years.
It does.
Not only that, I mean, just like Stripe's been canceling people left and right for no reason. They're woke.
Yeah.
And if you're on Stripe, I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. If I were you, realmerchantservices.com. And by the way, if you're looking to make money, because that's why I said, why'd you give it up? Because, dude, I got people joining, going around signing up businesses.
It's a lifelong thing.
It takes a minute. But, dude, that recurring revenue that comes in is huge.
That's what got us started. Was we had a very, very good relationship with a fella that has a very large business in the Midwest. And we just met with him, just kept having meetings with him. And eventually now our machines are in every one of his stores. And it's been like that for 7 years.
You've been getting paid for 7 years?
Yeah.
How come you didn't grow it? Too slow.
Because like you said, it's good money if you have, like this guy does, I don't know, 200 million, or he does a lot in a year. That's good money at that point for one guy. But like my business, you know, if you're just going to be a guy that sells merchant services to me, you're not going to make much. You're going to make like $100, $300, $400. And I'm going to grind you down because I know the game a little bit. I provide myself my own merchant services, of course. So, I can control my fees, but
Have you eliminated
it's a grind.
them?
What's that?
Have you eliminated your fees?
Yeah. I'm a little, I don't know if that's legal or if you could do that or not.
Of course you can.
You could provide yourself because we've been doing it.
You can trust if I'm doing it, it's legal. I
Okay.
wouldn't do anything illegal.
Yeah, no, we have. No matter what, you still got to pay a little bit though.
No, you don't. No, you do not. Everybody listening, trust me, go to Real Merchant Services and fill out the form. I'll take 2 minutes. My team will show you exactly how we do it, including you. Even
Someone's paying it.
Someone's paying it.
Okay,
but it's
there
just
we go.
not
Now
us.
okay,
and it's not
right.
you.
I don't pay any of them. We're on the same page.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone's paying it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not us. It's not you.
Right.
So everybody's happy.
Yeah, I think mine, even with mine as low as they are, and we charge fees or whatever for it, but I think I'm at 50, 60 grand a year that I pay in those. But again, that's not me paying it.
Well, I'd try and recruit you again, put you
Okay.
back in the game. But, dude, you're already crushing it with the towing business. You grew that sucker to how many
Yeah.
trucks? 40?
So we got just under 50 now. I just bought another business in the Madison area. If you know the Badgers, familiar with Wisconsin at all?
no.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's near Milwaukee. But yeah, we've got locations and shops in Madison, Milwaukee, and Racine, Kenosha area. So that's south of Milwaukee. And we're kind of slowly growing south towards Chicago. I don't know if I want to go to Chicago.
What about
'cause
Sheboygan?
I know Sheboygan. Why do you know Sheboygan?
Yes, my buddy was showing a picture of some lake, and I'm like, "Where are you?" He said, "Sheboygan." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who the hell would want to
Sheboygan.
live in a town called Sheboygan?"
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I hear it.
You know Kohler, the toilet,
Yeah.
the plumbing, the town of Kohler is out there. He owns the whole town and everybody.
Sheboygan, near
kinda-
Sheboygan.
Yeah. It's awesome. If you're
So-
ever in Wisconsin, go there. But anyways, yeah. So we're up to just under 50 trucks. We do a little bit of auto repair stuff too. I'm careful with that because the people we service are repair shops. So it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you. So I don't grow that, but the towing stuff we grow, we provide, I think at the time I wrote that sheet was 80,000 calls. I think this year we're going to be just under 100,000. And another part of my business that we do is we have service vehicles that sell and install batteries in people's cars. So Brad, you get a cold day and for some reason your truck doesn't start at your house, you call us, we'll come there, we'll test it, tell you if it's bad. If it's good, we'll just jumpstart you. If it's bad, we'll put one in for you. Right on spot.
You'll do that for free?
No. About $300-$400
Will you
is average
jumpstart
ticket.
me for free?
No, that's about 100.
Still, it's good service.
It is.
I'm
Who
trying to
else?
think as I'm talking to you ways I would grow and scale your company, but I haven't asked enough questions yet. How'd
Sure.
you get from 2 to 50 trucks? And how long did it take you?
So it started when I was probably 23, 24. So what is that? I'm 29 now. So 5-6 years. So I started
That ain't
with,
long.
no, we
It's
grew
like, massive growth.
we bought some businesses. So, and I say we, cause I first started out with my brother and, we had different goals in mind and I was the person, on the ground, boots on the ground. He was not, he was more or less, admin and he did teach me some things. But it didn't go well, and I bought him out at one point. But on the way to me
Your
buying
brother,
him out,
you said?
yeah. So I bought him out 3 years ago now. But on the way to that, me and him bought a business in Milwaukee, grew that. Same exact business that we do. You know, it just seemed to fit. I think it was about 6 trucks at the time. And now in Milwaukee, we've got, you know, half of our trucks in Milwaukee, so 20. Yeah, we just grew there and started putting processes in place and doing the things that people in my industry don't do. Because, I mean, if you watch the movies and stuff, you know how they portray tote. I mean, they're always missing teeth and fucking greasy and, you know, gross. That's not what we are. Like, we grew because of acquisition, but also because our service, like, we're clean. Our trucks are not rusty, you know, which is rare in Wisconsin. You know, like, we have new stuff. People want to work for us because I don't have a truck that's 20 years old and breaking down. My truck is 2 years old or 1 year old. And I think that's what helped us, is like paying attention to the stuff that no one else is paying attention to in that industry, you know? So, yeah.
Like what? Clean trucks?
Yeah.
Well, I would call that branding.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're to the point now where people know my trucks. So when I sell them, there's certain guys that they say, hey, contact me if you ever sell a truck because I want to buy it, you know?
Well, because yours are nice, and if you're getting a new one, they'll take your old one because your old one's better than their new ones.
100%. I mean, I don't know. You probably don't pay attention to tow trucks very often, but if you look around, even Vegas, I notice them, and I haven't seen that many nice ones here even.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really noticed, but now that you ask, I'll go start looking. To me,
Yeah.
I don't really care. Is my truck getting towed? I don't care if it's a rust bucket towing it, as long as it gets towed.
Doesn't it
But
make
I
you
do-
feel a little better though if the guy getting in your truck isn't a greaseball?
Yeah, if the truck shows up as nice and it's clean and it looks like they care for their equipment, because if
Right.
they care for theirs, they'll probably care for ours.
Yeah, doesn't have a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. I mean, I had that happen once, and
Well, I see that.
oh yeah, no, I'm not. We don't do that. You can
So-
smoke, but not in front of the customer.
So, acquisition is how you grew.
Yeah, I would say acquisitions how we grew fast, and then we also just had some relationships with insurance companies, and all it comes down to is negotiating rates and being a normal person with them and treating them good. It's a relationship, right? And they'll give you the calls. So insurance companies are AAA, Geico, Allstate, you know, whatever. There's a million of them. They all provide roadside. A lot of guys don't look at the quantity of calls that they can provide. They just look at, what are you paying me for this one call? Well, if I just go do one call for $100, that sucks, of course. If I can do 50,000 of your calls and get to them fast and accept them because that's what they want me to do, well, then $100 calling it bad. You know, it's economies of scale. The bigger and more you do, it's a quantity game. So, yeah.
What are your plans for that company?
So I really am looking to hire probably in 24, kind of like I would say, I don't want to use the word GM because I think everybody says that, but somebody that can kind of do more stuff than I'm doing. I've got a few managers in place, and, you know, it's a 24/7 business. So somebody's got to answer the phone all the time. We've got the dispatch center. We've got the drivers. We've got, you know, the back office stuff. It's just, I need somebody that I'm still connecting a lot of dots. So in 24, I want to hire somebody that can do that. And then my grand plan is I would like to keep growing it and probably sell it. Right. I mean, that's kind of the goal. I don't think I want to keep it forever. I mean, I've got other stuff too that we do, like a little bit of real estate stuff. And
You like real estate better?
I don't know. It depends. You need a lot of it, or just a small amount of really big stuff, right, to make valuable money. I think when we first started, Keaton and I buying real estate in college, $500 a month sounded pretty damn good. But now it's like, man, I need 100 of those, you know, or I need 500 of them. So I would like to transition to that. But then again, if I get my business in a position where I'm not doing as much, I'll just keep it.
This company you got is making roughly $5-6 million a year.
Yeah, this year we're on track to 6.
So How much of that's net?
Yeah. I don't know if I want that out there for the world to know.
But is there any
it's
margin
good.
in it?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say you're familiar with like what plumbers and HVAC and all those guys are doing. We're kind of similar.
You know, is there any private equity looking to pick you up?
They exist. I
They're
think it
all
needs to be
over
bigger.
HVAC right now.
They are. Yeah. And I think they exist, but it needs to be a little bigger. And like I said, I got to get out of the picture a little more. Because right now I could sell my business, but it would have to be the right guy. And I don't want to be in that position because that's when you don't make much. You want to be in a position where, yeah, I can get like the 4X, the 5X, whatever.
Are you married?
I am. Got 2 kids.
Married with kids, living in with Milwaukee.
Madison. Yeah.
Madison.
Yep.
My boy lives there.
Who?
He owns a roofing company. I think it's called New Roof or
Really?
New Roof and Flooring. Yeah.
What's his name?
Josh Shaw.
I know who that is.
You know Josh Shaw?
He runs. Yeah, I need a roof. Well, I don't know if I got my roof done or not. You want to hook me up with that? I got a place in West Dallas, which is Milwaukee.
I'll connect you here as soon as we're off this.
Mm-hmm. I've heard the name though. He does like large commercial apartment buildings. It's like
He does everything.
Okay.
And he
Alright.
bought this flooring company, so now it's roof and floors, head to tail, tip to toe.
Yeah, his business is in Waukesha.
But he sold his last roofing company, pocketed a little bit, made his first exit, and then, started getting bored and then did another one, and now it's getting big enough to sell.
Yeah.
So like
What's he doing in Wisconsin?
that's where he lives.
Just likes it.
That's who picture was in Sheboygan.
Okay. Well, then he knows all about old Kohler out there.
Yeah, and
Kohler
you
Lodge.
guys might be able to like figure out how to do biz together. If
Yeah.
I'm a tow truck company, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what would I do to get more business? Well, I want all the accounts around town that says no parking or violators will be towed. I
Yeah.
want those guys calling me.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, so I'm going to go get all of those. And if there was somebody else, I'm going to, even if I break even or lose money, I'm going to get them anyway. Why?
Yeah.
Because dude, that you put people out of business.
Yeah. And that's going on right now. So another business that I passed on in Madison. So we're going through a transition period like a lot of businesses are, where either you're getting smaller or you're getting bigger. Because it's just consolidation. That's what's happening, I feel like. And guys are getting old, they want to get out. But he came to me and we couldn't come to a price, so he sold to another competitor. It was the best thing that ever happened because everybody hates that guy. And we're picking up his accounts for free. I didn't have to pay for him. So, yeah, you can put yourself out of business sometimes. And I think that's what that guy's doing by being a little too aggressive on those are called private property impounds, what you're talking about, because it'll ruin your brand. Because nobody likes when you get your car towed and it's $400 to get it back. It seems a little.
Hey, don't park in the spots you're not supposed to park in. How
I
about
agree.
that?
I know. That's what I say. We're the service. We don't decide who parks there and
Do
if
you
it's
do
illegal.
repos?
I don't do repos. That's
That's a repo man, not a tow truck. They just have tow trucks.
yeah, and they're kind of like they crawl around at night, and you got to pay them commission, and they'll drive 3 hours to go find a car, and the laws in Wisconsin suck. You can't carry a gun, like it's against.
Well, that would make me move immediately.
Well, you can carry a gun in Wisconsin, just not if you're a repo guy.
Oh,
Because it's literally against the law. It's in the statutes. And if I'm going to go steal this guy's car in the middle of the hood, not making his payments, his only way to probably get to work, and you don't want me to carry a gun? Get real. They got to change that.
well, even if you could carry a gun, you just said the last thing you said, I think is most important. I wouldn't want to be a repo guy because, the fact this dude's not paying his bill, that's between him and the bank, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'd feel terrible snatching somebody's car that they need to go to work, feed their family. I used to hide my car because the tow truck was out for it.
They get creative doing that.
Yeah, I mean, back when I was, in that predicament, I just parked it 4 or 5 blocks away, just right on the side of the street.
Right.
And no one ever found it, but they were out for it.
Yeah.
I've seen people cruise by. Oh, not there.
Yeah.
And I would just get up, walk 4 or 5 blocks away, jump in, be gone. But nothing ever happened to it.
They're crafty, man. These guys are smart.
Well, now they got like signals and
The hood stuff. They drive
air
around.
tags and
Yeah.
freaking low jack.
Oh yeah, they'll put a GPS in a buy here, pay here. They'll put a GPS in your car as long as you haven't paid the bill.
So for anyone who's ever had their car towed involuntarily, meaning,
Non-consensually is what we call it.
yeah, what are the hacks? Like give the bomb squad a little secret that only
So
tow
they
truck
don't get
drivers
towed?
know. Well, just things that like only a tow truck driver would know.
Yeah. So you can turn your wheels any direction you want. You can park any way you want. We're going to take your car. We have the stuff, we know what we're doing. Don't park there. That's the hack. Don't park there. Read the fucking sign. There's always a sign. It's a law.
Now, in my
know?
cars, there's a button that will prohibit it from being towed.
Now, you talking about your black Ferrari?
Well, in that one, there's a little,
'Cause
there might be, but
That's one hack. Nobody's touching that car.
yeah.
'Cause
Why?
if we damage it, we got to pay for it. How much you think a bumper is on a Ferrari?
So Ferraris won't get towed? What would you say if someone
want-
said, hey, move this Ferrari?
I'll tow it if it breaks down and you're there, and I'll have you get in it and whatever.
Dude,
we'll
there's
be
the
careful.
hack. Buy a Ferrari
Yeah.
and you can park wherever you
You
want.
park wherever the hell you want. You might get a ticket, but
So is that, do you think Universal or some tow truck companies would be like, I don't give a shit?
there's heroes out there, gym class heroes that I'm, tow god, whatever. I'm gonna take your car. Fuck this guy, Brad. He's got a Ferrari. I'm taking it. That's for him. He's not a business owner.
Well,
He's a tow guy.
I was thinking about, I don't remember what cars. I think it was a Mercedes, but there's a button that you push that supposedly won't allow it to be towed.
What the hell? The wheels are still on the ground, right?
Maybe it locks the wheels. I don't know.
We can still pick it up.
Maybe you push it if you want to be towed. I don't know. But
There is a tow
there's
mode in Teslas.
Huh?
There's Tesla tow mode. It raises the car up and puts it in neutral. But I don't know. But yeah, the Ferrari thing. And another thing too is like we will not do like, let's say your Ferrari breaks down. You gonna call AAA for that? Or are you just gonna pay the best company to haul your Ferrari? Because you don't care what it costs. You just want it to get to the Ferrari place.
Well, it's never broke down. A lot of people think they're high maintenance. That's what I used to think before I had them.
Mm-hmm.
It's never broke down. But I would call Ferrari dealership that I bought it from,
Yeah.
and I would say, hey, how do I get this thing to your shop?
Right.
And they would probably say, I'll send a tow truck.
See, we got a lot of cheap guys they'll have a $500,000 car and they'll use their $100 AAA membership per year to get their car towed. And I'll call that guy and I'll say, hey, and I'll see where he lives or whatever. I'll say, hey, not that anybody's bad at towing and we can tow your car, but we haul Honda Civics and Toyotas most of the time. Like all day we're hauling regular people cars. So we can come tow your car. That's fine. But I would suggest maybe you pay for all the special equipment and the biggest, baddest trucks, which we also have.
Which are like what, flatbeds?
Yeah, like a flatbed with, they got I got some trucks with airbags and they drop down the ground and you could drive a Corvette on it. It's awesome. And we'll still use that, but it's just like, it just seems ridiculous if you got a $500,000 car and you're trying to get a free tow,
Well, we don't use AAA if we break down, and we are like platinum members or whatever.
Yeah.
I buy the AAA.
120 a year. Ooh.
I buy the platinum or whatever the top one is
Yeah.
because it gives you 20% off at Disneyland.
Oh, really? Oh, that is a deal then. If you're spending, and you can spend 10 grand at Disneyland, no problem.
Yeah, and my wife seems to have to be there like every quarter at least. So I'm literally saving so much money at Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's it.
They
That's
might
why.
kick you off that.
But that's why I get the AAA. I don't
Yeah.
ever call them.
Right. And the only reason they provide that roadside is because they want you to buy their other products. They don't make money on the roadside at all. They
Well,
lose money.
AAA, I like them. I support AAA. Why?
Yeah.
Well,
Me too.
Well, they're also a client of Lightspeed VTs.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because that was a good point I was going to bring up to you off air. Because their training sucks. The stuff they give us, and it's not Lightspeed. I can tell.
They're not using it for that. They're using it to try and train. Actually, you heard of CSAA?
Yeah, that's the California Motor Club,
That's the insurance
ain't it?
arm of AAA.
Okay.
So they're using it to train people. AAA actually the mothership. I call it the mothership.
The big ones, yeah.
Yeah, because they have 90 million something members, dude.
Yeah.
And I keep telling the insurance division who uses the Lightspeed system, and they're
Yeah.
starting to, give it to policyholders, which is what they're using it for, policyholders. But I'm like, dude, give it to AAA policyholders
Yeah.
and train them on anything that would interest them, and then upsell them uninsured motorists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because you know how many people don't have uninsured motorists, and it's
Yeah.
the law.
There's a lot of people. It's a scary, like in our industry, we see it because we do crashes, obviously. And man, there's so many people. I would say half the cars on the road by us are not insured.
Do you ever go to crashes and see horrific injury
Yeah.
bother you?
Not me, but
Why? You can see decapitation and it doesn't bother you.
well, yeah, I mean, when you say it that way, well, what are you going to do? I mean, we're there to move the car. They've already moved most of the time when we're there. They've already moved the body or whatever. But yeah, I mean, shit happens. I remember I was a kid, like 9, probably the nastiest thing I've seen at that point. Went out to a call. They don't tell you either. They just say, hey, we need you to pick this up. Okay. Go out there. Every single ambulance in the whole county was there. I don't know. We were in the middle of a cornfield. Kid got ran over by a lawnmower, and they didn't tell us that. We had to move the lawnmower. So, but that was, maybe that's why it doesn't bother me.
Did he get whacked?
Yeah, he lived, but yeah, he got whacked probably 500 times when he got backed over by a John Deere.
So, what are your biggest challenges currently? Because you're only 29. You've already
Yeah.
grown a company well. Like, you must be getting some sort of mentorship or counseling, or are you just freaking ballsy?
Just dropping bombs. Listen to dropping bombs all the time.
Well, that's right.
There you go.
That's worth one.
No, I've had a really good. I've had a lot of examples of people that have messed up in their life that are older than me that I've seen, and I think that helps a lot. Like I've had a lot of siblings. I got 4 siblings, and they're not all in business or anything, but I've seen them make bad mistakes.
Okay.
And I mean, as simple as smoking. Like seeing when I was like 10 years old and like seeing my oldest brother was at the time probably, I don't know, 20 or something, smoking and stuff, like, and seeing how much my parents hated it and how much girls didn't like it. I was like, fuck that. I ain't never smoking.
Was girls your main focus?
At one point, but
Not now, obviously.
no. Now we're focusing on the kids. Kids are cool. You got
How old
tons
are
of
your
kids.
kids?
I've got one that's 3 months and 16 months. 2 boys.
Do you have a pool at home?
No, not in Wisconsin.
No pools out there? Why? They'd freeze?
There is, but it's a lot of maintenance because, yeah, you got to dump the water all the time and they freeze. And, yeah.
Well, anybody with small children in swimming pools, I would highly suggest investing in those fences.
There's they put a fence around the water or what?
Yeah, around the pool.
Okay.
Because you think, oh, not mine. Oh, we have doors. Oh, they won't be outside. Mine got out the other day. Almost freaking drowned.
They're fast.
They're
Kids.
fast. You can turn your head for a minute. You can go answer the door and talk for 61 seconds, turn around, not even realize they got back there because, well, how would they?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how they would. I would invest in a fence
Right.
no matter what if you love your children, because I'm telling you, I'm extra careful and my kids are extra careful.
Right.
But back door was left unlocked. Bing, almost drowned.
Don't take
we were
much.
10 seconds away from not having a little one.
How old is she? That one?
18 months.
Oh, okay. So that's right in the. Yeah, they just take off. Isn't it crazy? Like how fast they are.
Yeah.
You look away for a minute and.
But if you don't have a pool, you're safe.
Yeah,
They can't fall into the ground.
Well, yeah, we're more worried about
You don't
running
have
in the road.
sinkholes. You don't have sinkholes, do you?
No, no sinkholes. But
So what are your biggest challenges right now?
biggest challenges are, so I'm trying out the third party dispatch. So some people in the Philippines. So because it's also very cheap, trying that out right now because hiring anybody seems to be a task at any point. it doesn't matter. You know, when I first started, I used to pay people $50 an hour for a very entry level job.
50?
15.
Oh, I was gonna say 50.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, you're overpaying, son.
No. About $15 an hour. And then now an entry level is about 22. And we have like bonuses and stuff, but a lot of kids don't care about that. They hear, yeah, you get a monthly bonus of 500 to 1,000, whatever. It's almost like it doesn't exist because they get it once a month and then they don't even look at their checks half the time. They just look at their bank account and, you know, it gets taxed pretty heavy. So it's like, man, maybe I should just stop bonusing everybody and give them an extra $1 an hour. But
Would they like that?
I think that would
It'd be
provide more
cheaper.
value.
$1 an hour is only 40 more bucks a week.
Right. For sure. I've done the math on that. And with overtime, it's about the same. We have a decent amount of overtime here and there because the wheels never stop turning.
Well, why not give them both?
What's that? Both bonus,
The bonus and a dollar raise.
Well, I've been doing that every year. I've been giving them more money.
Maybe that's why you're growing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I take that in consideration too. Like we've got a few people that are making 6 figures and, you know, I used to think that's crazy. Like I'm the only one that's going to make whatever, but I want those people making good money. I want them happy.
How many salespeople do you have?
Salespeople?
Yeah.
What are they? When you say sales, like what
How
kind
many
of
salespeople do you have?
what product are they selling? Because I sell more than just, you know, we
Dude,
sell.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh.
Out of all these employees, you say you have 60.
Yeah. So
How many of
I don't
those
have-
are salespeople?
I don't have door knockers, but I have people that are coming to your house and selling and installing the batteries. So
How
12,
many? So you got 12.
well, 15. I
Are
would
they
say.
salespeople or are they technicians?
Yeah, they're more technicians than salespeople, but they are paid commission on top of that. So it's a little mix.
I don't
But-
know, you don't have salespeople.
I don't have people knocking doors
Why don't you hire 3 salespeople?
and just get them out there.
Get them selling
Building
accounts.
relationships.
Get them selling.
Yeah.
Selling for you. Selling finish lines, products and services.
Right. I do.
You don't have any salespeople? Dude, if I took over your company right now, I could grow it beyond what you've grown it only by hiring 3 salespeople. I think, well, what would they sell? Dude, your services. Go get more accounts. Like
Yeah.
where do you make most of your money when people call for a tow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, where are you getting those calls from? Insurance companies. Okay. Go sell insurance companies on our services. But all day, every day, they'd be nothing but getting you accounts.
Right. Yeah, I have thought about that. And I do have someone that helps me with relationships with shops and accounts and things like that. But taking it to the level at what you're talking about, I have not.
Dude, you got to grow a pair.
Yeah.
What
I've been doing it up to this point.
well, what's the worst that can happen?
I lose a couple $1,000. Yeah.
You owe a minimum wage. You give a salesman minimum wage or commission. You don't give them both. So if I hired you right now to work here at Lightspeed,
Yeah.
I'd say I'm going to give you freaking X% commission when you sell one. I'm not going to tell you, and by the way, if you don't sell anything for the whole month, I'll give you minimum wage,
Okay.
but you have to by
Yeah.
law. But then you get rid of them. So you only do that once or twice.
Now,
So
are those those aren't 1099 sales people?
they can be 1099, but mine aren't. No, they're
Okay.
W-2. But, I have W-2 employees.
Yeah.
But I also would take a 1099 guy. I don't really care how they want to get paid.
Yeah.
The question is, or ultimately what I'm pointing out is, if I just hired 10 more sales guys, I'd grow my company. And people are, why aren't you doing it? I am doing it.
Okay.
I hire people all the time in sales. I also find home-based service companies, a lot of them, they're having their technicians as salespeople. Well, dude, I hate to tell you, most of those technicians, they're not salespeople. Dude,
No.
they are garbage.
Yeah.
They've been to my house, not for tow trucks, but garage doors, windows, anything and everything. They come plumbers, HVAC. They come over, dude,
Yeah.
and they suck.
And they're getting paid an hourly wage, and then they're getting like a little $50
That's
referral.
because they're not salespeople. They're doing
Right.
what you're doing. You're having your technicians sell.
Right.
You need to hire minimum of 3 salespeople. Why 3? Because usually you need 3 before you get 1.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true with any employee. I would
Then
say.
you hire 3 more. Then you hire 3 more, and pretty soon you only have 3, but they're all strong.
Right.
But dude, you will grow your company if you hire 3 salespeople. Anybody listening, if you're operating without salespeople and you're trying to grow your business, that's like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Hire salespeople.
And I think everybody knows what to do too, but they just don't. They're worried about ops too much.
What is your biggest challenge right now?
Biggest challenge is getting me off certain duties, like sales is a good one because I do that. I go to shops and I visit people.
Why is it such a challenge?
Because I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the bigger brain stuff.
But why is getting away from it a challenge?
I think a lot of business owners struggle with it. It's hard to let things go because you want to make sure they're done right.
I know, but don't talk about other business owners. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
What is your biggest reason? Because you don't want to let it go?
I have a hard time letting certain things go.
Why?
It's got to get done right.
Do you realize you'll stay small forever?
If with that mindset, yeah, 100%.
You have to let it go.
And I think
otherwise you don't have a business, dude. You have a job.
Right. Which I have.
Because right now, if you go away and your business starts to crash, you haven't built a business yet.
Right.
See, a lot of people, they don't realize it. Okay. The only way you build a business is if you could walk away and it will continue to operate and grow by itself.
Right.
And if you say, well, we're not there yet. Well, at least you're being honest. But if I were you, I would hurry up and get there because that's valuable. A business that's relying on you is not very valuable.
Right.
If at all.
Well, because I am the business. And that's the problem that's why this most recent business I bought 3 months ago, I got a really good deal because that guy was the business. You know, he just couldn't do it anymore. So I bought it for his equipment. I got all his accounts for free.
So if I'm dropping bombs live with you and I'm coaching you, don't even need to know your business. You need salespeople, dedicated, everyday salespeople. And a lot of people are like, well, we can't afford them. Guys, if you can't afford them, you need them more than anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, number one. Number two, good salespeople don't cost you money. They make you money.
Profit center.
So you can't afford making money is what you're telling me? Well, that's a good salesman. Right. That's who you're trying to find, a good one. Right? You're not trying to find a service technician and turn them into a salesperson, even though you could, but then yank them out of techs. So if you're like, well, techs are easy. Well, then grab 3 or 4 of your techs, bring them over.
Yeah.
As salespeople, but full-time dedicated salespeople. And then your second problem is you can't replace yourself. Sounds like a mental challenge, not an actual challenge.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a block. And I've gotten to where I am by getting rid of a lot of stuff because, I don't really get in the truck and do all that stuff anymore. But yeah, now I'm to the point where I've got to go to the next level of getting rid of tasks. And, that's why I said I got to hire an ops guy in 24.
So again, anybody listening from the bomb squad out in the
Midwest,
Milwaukee, Muskegon. Is there a Muskegon?
There's a Muskego.
Oh,
what do you know about Muskego?
You guys
now?
got all weird ass names out there. But if you guys are out there in the old Wisconsin area looking for a gig, what are you willing to pay for someone that's literally capable of taking over and literally letting you walk away?
Well, if they're going to do what I do, that's multiple. Yeah. 200.
You're willing
more
to
than
pay.
200. Yeah.
So folks, job right here for you. A lot of people say, can't find good people. That's what I thought you were going to say. Everybody's blocked with, you can't find good people these days. Dude, you don't find good people by putting an ad in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, number one, no one uses the newspaper. So that's your first mistake.
I use the newspaper.
Okay, just checking.
Wait, you use the newspaper?
I used to. When we got jobs, we'd open up the newspaper. I always say put an ad in the paper, but that means put an ad out there.
Yeah.
Indeed, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that's not where your good people come from.
No, because they're all looking for jobs all the time.
If they're looking for jobs, bro, they're more than likely. Again, yes, there's some exceptions. I've been looking for a job before, and I'm a good dude. But all I'm saying is, generally, you're not looking for people that are looking.
Yeah.
You got to steal. And when you're stealing people, it costs you more. And then people have a mental block about spending more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not giving 300 grand. Well, dude, if 300 grand would free you up and allow you to go build other things that'll make you 10 million, then you're looking at the situation incorrectly. Like, step up, pay the right people to get you out of the situation you're in. because that is a challenge, dude. But fortunately, it sounds like a mental block.
Yeah, we've got all the tools, and I can bring somebody in.
Why do you think you got to do it?
Well, there's certain stuff that I'm never going to stop looking at financials and stuff like that, but that's easy.
Dude, you don't have to stop doing that.
Right. No, but general operation stuff, I guess I'm in the point where I don't have enough leaders, I would say, everywhere. I've got leaders, but there's certain holes to where I just fill in here and there. And every once in a while, I like to let everybody know that I'm still aware of what's going on all the time. But
maybe
it doesn't need to be me.
Do you think you're the problem? If you don't have enough leaders, what do you think a leader does?
Well, take some load off me so I can go do some more stuff. But
are you a leader?
I would say, yeah.
A good one?
I think I'm a pretty good leader.
Good leaders produce leaders.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any and you're the leader,
yeah.
why aren't you producing any?
Well, I'd say 3 or 4.
But why aren't you producing any? A good leader never should be, out of leaders. Why? They produce leaders. Good leaders produce leaders.
Right.
So
yeah, and I've brought people. I mean, we do the stuff. I mean, I have made people read certain books even and gone as far as like paying for, I'm like, hey, do you want to go to this course? Do you want to do this thing? And if they're not into it, then move on to the next person, and they just want to be an employee, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I've run into that.
Do you believe in the word leadership?
Do I believe in it?
Yeah, like when I was your age, well, even before, because like you're way ahead of me. At my age, at your age, I was just getting ready to start Lightspeed, but I was still working for people. I was a terrible leader. I think I still am, quite frankly, a terrible leader. I'm a visionary. I need leaders to come in here and produce leaders.
Yeah.
So if you're not a good leader, see, I can admit it. You might be too young to admit it. I'm a good leader.
Could be.
Well, if you're a good leader, bro, you'd have all the leaders you need because leaders create leaders. So I'm in the same boat in a lot of my companies, but I bring in and I find good leaders.
Yeah.
And I used to not believe in the word leadership. I thought, dude, that is so stupid. I'm the leader. Why? Because I'm the boss. Well, a boss and a leader are two different things.
Right.
I think you might be a boss, not a leader.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is why you even need a leader even more.
right.
So go get yourself a leader.
It's the consistency that's tough because like I've worked, because you kind of want to, the whole point of being an entrepreneur and making money and being successful is like to be able to do whatever you want and with your time. And I think that's why I'm struggling with leadership, is because I don't, I want to see my kids in the morning and hang out with them. I don't want to be to work at 6 a.m. every day.
So don't.
That's where I need a leader at, to be consistent with that stuff.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, let's go, bro.
All right.
I'll shut my
The bomb
companies
spot?
down. I'll shut my companies down. I'll come out and be your leader. And then
You want to do that?
No, because I'm a bad leader.
Come hang out with Josh?
I'm working on leadership. You know Andy Elliott?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a
hard
good
to
leader.
miss.
He's a good leader. Like he's creating leaders and
He's
leaders
got-
and
well,
leaders
yeah.
because he's a good leader. You gotta be a good leader to get good leaders. You create them. He creates them. It's amazing. I watch him. I'm like, damn, dude, I wouldn't have said that to that individual.
The 6-pack thing, or
No,
is
no,
that
like
true?
like let's say he wants you to do something. He'd sit down and he'd be like, dude, I have like more belief in you than I think you do. You, I think, are the best guy here if you applied yourself. I think you've got the most potential ever.
Yeah.
Now, and I don't know what he would say, but like when he says shit to people, I'm thinking, see, I wouldn't have said that. I'd have walked up and said, bro,
Yeah.
did your paycheck bounce? Did your paycheck bounce? No. Why? Because I'm paying you to fucking do this, this, and this, and this. And that's all I want.
Yeah.
But that's not a leader. That's a dick.
That might be a bomb there.
Well, I'm reading, but I mean, I'm trying to get better at leadership, and I am. And what's crazy is, the better you get at leadership, the more you start to realize, like, dude, leaders create leaders. The reason I've been void of a bunch of leaders is the same exact reason.
Do you think what is respect most important thing for a leader?
No.
Like people got to respect you, or what's the most important thing?
Well, again, people do respect them, but to a leader, I don't know, because again, I'm not one, so I can't think. What do I think?
Yeah.
I'm becoming one. And I think they don't care about respect. They just get it. I think what they care about is getting the best out of you.
Yeah.
So if you disrespect me, but I'm pushing you to become better and evolve and become more capable, that's what they're more focused on. Like, how do I get Johnny Van to be here?
Yeah.
And if that means, I don't know, because again, it's tough, dude. But if I was you, I'd start reading a lot of leadership books and become a great leader yourself.
Yeah.
And you start to read it and you start to understand it. And pretty soon, sometimes it's maturity. Some people aren't old enough to realize, because when I was young, I thought I knew everything. I don't know you that well to know if you think that, but if you do, just start reading leadership books, because it might be 35 before you become one.
Yeah.
And then getting people to replace you shouldn't be a problem. Do you have a training system?
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Well, do you have one?
it. I don't have a training system other than what I've been provided by AAA. So I use their stuff.
That's not a training system. I'm talking about a training system for yourself. So like if you just had somebody step up and say, okay, dude, I'll come in here and work for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a way to train them, get them up to speed, get them to understand?
It depends what it is, but I mean, if you're a new operator or a technician, yeah. I mean, I have a whole manual that I created, and I have dedicated people so it's the same every time. As far as anything like Lightspeed, I don't have anything like that.
Well, that's just a way to deliver it. If you have the training, you just virtualize it and use a tool like Lightspeed.
Yeah, we train for a minimum of 120 hours if you're a new tech. And it's like a 15-page, whatever.
If there's people out there just wanting to be a tech, they're just freaking trying to get off their, ass a little bit and get a job. You hiring?
Yeah, always hiring. I will always hire at any point, because I am constantly trying to get rid of the B and the C players, if you know what I mean by that.
Okay, well, here's one more tip for you. Unfortunately, you got to get rid of the shit players before you attract the A players. Because if an A player shows up and they're surrounded by C players, they're like, oh, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah. Stallions don't run with turkeys, right?
Yeah, you got to get rid of the C players, which hurts, because you're thinking, well, shit, I got to have somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody's better than nobody. That's not always true. Sometimes it is, because if then no one driving the truck, you're screwed.
You need somebody in the truck, yeah. I think that's what we run into sometimes. Because, I mean, we'll, like you said about salespeople, we'll hire 5 and get 1 or 2. If it's a tech.
Well, dude, you're doing something right. So keep doing whatever it is you're doing. Keep learning, keep growing. I'd focus on leadership, believe it or not. It took me way too long to realize that.
You read Jocko's book?
Yeah.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
I gave that to a few of my people.
So whose fault is it?
It's my fault always.
Always.
Yeah.
I argued with Jocko right in that green room you were sitting in.
Yeah.
Over this exact thing.
Because you didn't believe in it, or what?
No, he basically said there are no bad teams, only bad leaders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, bullshit. Like, I have a bad team. And I'm a good leader.
Yeah.
And he basically, after I read the book, I realized I'm the freaking problem.
It's a mindset.
It's a perspective.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, he is correct, though. He is correct, because if you're the leader and you're a good one, you wouldn't allow or keep a bad team.
No.
So because I allowed and tolerated my team, didn't do whatever it took to replace them, fix them, train them, develop them.
Right.
I was the bad leader.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is correct. There are no bad teams, only bad leaders. If you replace the leader and you have a good one, it'll be a good team. There's no such thing as a bad team, only bad leaders. And that's the truth. And I never agreed with him until I really read his book and understood what it meant. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm the problem. Shit.
And it's hard to get people to realize, because I say that exact phrase, no bad teams, only bad leaders, to the few leaders I have. And it's like, you got to say it 100 times. And then after the 100th time, they're finally like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. But it takes a while to get out of that mindset. Did you give them all the book? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get everybody that book. There was in my
That's awesome
leadership.
I haven't read it probably in a year, but I should read it again.
Well, folks, listen, if you want a job, call this dude. You guys follow him at Johnny G_van. His business is at Finish Line Towing _Wisconsin. Was Finish Line Towing taken?
Yeah, I think so. But I did Wisconsin. It's in my email too, because
What if you end up in Illinois?
well, then I'm going to make another Instagram. That's why I did it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
You got it all figured out.
Or Iowa. Maybe not.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. Sorry the Packers lost.
Yeah. What the hell?
And holler if you need anything. By the way, merchant services, I got you covered on that. Realmerchantservices.com.
Yeah, we won't steal any of that.
If you need towing, Finish Line Towing. Till next time, keep it real.